Welcome to Beyond Bitcoin's bonus Hangout edition. To help further educate the BitShares community of potential partnerships and opportunities that reaches well beyond our ecosystem. A common ground where ideas and plans come to unite, wielding the true potential, possibilities, and power of the blockchain technology that we call BitShares. If you feel engaged to participate in these crucial conversations, then please visit beyondbitcoin.org for future Hangouts. Also, please remember to vote for our BitShares delegate, Fuzzy.BeyondBitcoin, to help keep our community informed and up to date. On behalf of the Beyond Bitcoin crew, we want to say thank you, and we appreciate your time and trust. Now let's listen in to our current guest.
Welcome everyone to another Beyond Bitcoin Hangout bonus edition. Today is Saturday, July 25th, where we're looking into where blockchain technology will take us. Bitcoin started it, but it's not going to just be Bitcoin. We have hundreds and thousands of blockchains already emerging. Where are they going to go? Today we're going to be talking with Vrontis from Qora. He's going to give us a little bit more information, and for all the people who are here and it's the first time, I'll just let you know you're more than welcome to speak up at any time. We will go through in this particular order, however. We will be asking questions after an introduction period for Vrontis about himself and Qora. If you have any questions during that time, feel free to type them in the side. After Vrontis is finished, then we can move into the community question phase, and that will be approximately 40 minutes. So, hey Vrontis, we've already talked a little bit about how this format works. So, would you like to give everybody a little bit of an introduction about yourself and what got you into crypto in the first place?
I'm a guy from Greece. I am, and I'm still learning actually, informatics. I'm a tech guy. I'm working on the music industry for more than 5 years, on the digital part of the music industry. And I can say that I am a kind of developer. I'm working, developing several ideas when I got ideas in my mind. And back in 2013, I have get myself into the cryptocurrency world. I have started to learn about Bitcoin, what Bitcoin is, how this thing is working, what actually it is, a digital currency, because of my interest, because of my personality, because I'm loving to learn the digital world. And by getting myself into cryptocurrencies, I have found out that, okay, this is good. I need to learn more about it. I need to get deeper into this and see if I can let this coming into my life. And after a while, I have found Qora. Qora was founded by a developer, which is also known as Qora, and he is actually the reason that I have get deeper into cryptocurrencies. He was, and I believe he is, a highly educated person, a pretty good developer, and he was actually the man who made Qora. He was really open-minded. He had innovative ideas, and he had written a currency from scratch, a new source code written by him, and he have introduced very, very new futures at the moment. And that's actually the reason that I have get myself into Qora and into cryptocurrencies.
That's pretty awesome. And it sounds like Qora, the developer, is still working on the project as well.
Actually, no. Um, that's the reason that I have became one of the developers of Qora. I am developer, the original founder, Qora. As I said, he was writing everything on his own. He was working for almost a year on his own, and he was only a coder, nothing more, nothing less. He didn't do any marketing activities, any promotional activities. He doesn't know about it, but he knew that this is important part of the platform. And that's actually the first reason that I have tried to contribute into Qora, trying to help as much as I can a person who does everything on his own. After a while,
Sure.
well, Qora Developer seems that from December of 2014 and afterwards, he was a bit of inactive, it was actually inactive. He wasn't appeared nowhere, he was disappeared actually. And at this point, I had to finish a job. At this point, I have already introduced to Qora community the automated transactions, a smart contracts mechanism made by the CIYAM developers. And I was in the middle of a situation where people are awaiting Qora to integrate automated transaction, and the developer wasn't there. And that was my move, because I had to finish that project, because I have promised to the people of Qora that this project is going to go live into Qora. And I have stepped up in this point, and I have asked people to vote using Qora voting feature and say, hey guys, do you want the CIYAM developers, the 80 team, to proceed with a new wallet version on their own without the developer, the founder, Qora? We have placed a vote for that, and it was overvoted, yes, and that was my entry point on Qora as a developer.
Sure. So you have a voting feature currently in use.
That's actually the idea of Qora. A voting feature, but not only this, a lot of features that I will introduce in a while regarding Qora are made for the users of Qora. Everything.
And they brought you in.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason that I get into Qora. People have trusted me at this point to take over. Let's say, yeah, it's not actually, it is a takeover, but it was a pretty healthy takeover. Everyone was, hey, let's do it. We have get a lot of support. Sure. We have seen a lot of patience from people, a lot of hopes from people actually, because the existing Qora community, it's a devoted community. I mean, we are a few, but we do really believe on this. We know what it is. We have seen it growing, and we know where it can lead us. And yeah, I can say that we are a small team of persons, but with big ideas.
So is it fair to say that Qora's voting feature is working better than Greece's currently?
Yeah, I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, I will close my loud mouth then.
Yeah, we have, as I said before, we have the voting feature, which is actually the tool that our community used to drive the project. We have used it several times before to say, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And we will definitely use it for any major improvement or development or on the road for growing Qora.
Tuckfaman actually just sent me Qora.co.in as in November // polls, where I am now here looking at, you have polling that you do through this as well. So it's not just voting.
Yeah,
Is this correct?
Well, as you see on the polls, actually the first one over there is the poll that I have mentioned before regarding the AT team and the integration of the automated transactions. Everyone can use this feature to, or for his own interest, to say, hey, who will win the World Cup or anything. I mean, it's just a blockchain future of Qora, but we as community, we are driving this to, we're using this to drive our project to when we want a major, when we actually want the participation of the community, because this is the most important fact on the development process. I mean, we need to keep a project alive, and the main way to keep it alive is to hear what people are saying. Hear, hey man, what do you want to do? This is a simple question. I mean, that future that we have, that Qora Developer have introduced, which was actually at the time of the integration to Qora, it was the first polling future available on a cryptocurrency. It has become a powerful tool for Qora community.
Well, I can see right here, the first one with the most votes is, do you authorize the team to proceed to a new wallet version? So, I mean, it's kind of cool to watch how this plays out. Now, how does the voting work? Does it work one vote per account? Or is it one vote per token? How have you guys chosen to do that?
Well, everything regarding Qora is based on the stake of the users, like the proof, which is a proof of stake. The exact same way is how the voting future works. As I said before, anyone can make his own poll, and the users who would like to participate, they are just using their own addresses to select an option from the vote. And while they were using the address that holds an X amount of coins, those coins are measured to the option. So that's the way it's designed to make the election.
So basically, it sounds like your tokens do have a say in it. So somebody who has 1 million tokens, their vote is a little bit bigger than somebody who has 800,000.
Exactly, this is the way it works out.
It's ironic because that's exactly the same solution that we came up with over at the BitShares area. It's so cool to see that, you know, little projects popping up all over the place that actually have, well, Qora's not a young project now, actually, in the face of crypto. You guys realize that, by the way. You guys are getting older, right? But that's the feature that Bytemaster came up with as well. He said, you know, it needs to be done you can't do it by account unless you force people to register it in some way with a verification, you know. So what do? You end up, that's one route. You can go by the account, but you have the sock puppet issue. You have to do the verification because of it. Or you can go by the amount of stake in the system. And the amount of stake in the system is the amount of trust you're putting into the system. So it makes sense, you know. And I don't want to get too much into the whole grease thing, but it's interesting though to see how how we have the power with just a blockchain to be able to be certain, because you can go on there and you can look and you can see, right? Is this how it works with you guys too? It is completely verifiable off that blockchain, where the votes came from, how much, all that. Nobody's
Exactly.
gaming the system.
Exactly. This is how it works. This is how it has been designed to work. I can say that it is related to a term known as direct democracy.
Yep. And there's a gentleman named Gerald Celente where I first heard the term direct democracy when I was younger in this entire thing. And that's exactly what you see what I mean? It's interesting to see other people come to this same conclusion, and how many people have come to this conclusion. Cryptocurrency is very small, but it's not at the same time, right? VBCS says it seems like futarchy in a way. Now, could you explain that a little bit?
Futurarchy?
No, I'm waiting for VBCS to explain what he wants, what he means. And in the background in Vrontis is mic sounds like there's crickets. So anyway.
Yeah, that's Greece also.
Greece is probably a beautiful place, I'd imagine. Let me stop here for a moment and say, does anybody here have any questions or comments? Because you guys know I will talk this entire time without you if I don't open it up to you guys.
What exactly is Qora?
That's a good question. Qora is a second generation cryptocurrency. As I said before, invented by one person. It has written from scratch. It is an entire new source code. It's based on Java, and as any other technology achievement, it has its own features. Qora is a proof of stake cryptocurrency, which means it's based on the stake of the users for several activities, like, as I said before, the voting future. This is actually the main way to generate new blocks. The generator is someone with a bigger stake. It's actually he can more often generate new blocks. This is the algorithm of Qora for block generation. It's based on the stake and with a random factor inside the algorithm. Its features, it's what makes Qora, what I do believe, it makes it a unique cryptocurrency, a unique platform. Besides the fact that it's a proof of stake, it has an already coin supply number, no new coins are generated. We have 10 billion Qoras that they are circulating inside the network. The features that, as I said before, are making Qora unique are actually giving us the ability to have an ongoing development with Qora. And this is Qora. Every feature has its own idea behind of it. We have started working on Qora from March, when the developer has left the project, and we have found out that hey, we can do our ideas alive on Qora. This is Qora. You do what you want to do.
The ideas.
Exactly. The existing future, and give me 5 minutes to dig into those future. As I said, it's a cryptocurrency based on the proof of stake algorithm. It's a Java-based cryptocurrency. It has a naming service, which a user can register as many names as he'd like to have on his own wallet. It has the voting feature we have said about it before. It has assets, an asset exchange, with also the ability, which is, as far as I know, it is unique, and definitely it was unique the time that it has been introduced back in September of 2014. The ability to trade assets with assets directly without the need of using money in this trade, only for the fee, which is 1 Qora for the trade. So I can issue a token and I can trade this token with another token directly. This is known as barter exchange.
Cool.
We have also, as I said before, we have integrated automated transaction. Automated transaction is a smart contracts mechanism. It has been found and written by CIYAM developers. And you know about smart contracts.
Yes.
Because there has been a lot of buzz about smart contracts. It is a Turing complete virtual machine, I can say that in a more IT way. And it's actually a mechanism that allows every user to deploy his own programs that they will run inside, on top of the blockchain, inside Qora. This is huge. I can say that this is huge. You know about smart contracts, you know about how the cryptocurrency world is waiting for those functions into the cryptocurrency. We do have them from May, thanks to vbcs for that, and thanks to the Qora community for that. And we have just another introduction here to let you know, let you understand what exactly Qora can do with automated transaction. Is that back on May we have made the world's first atomic cross-chain transfer between Qora and Burst.
I remember when that happened. That was like, what, a month and a half ago?
Yeah, it was at the end of May. It was, before 2 months. And as you may also aware that the crypto world are in the need of a decentralized way of trading, and we have did that. We have done a decentralized trade with Burst coin, which also has automated transaction integrated into their core. And this is actually the power of automated transactions. It can go to any blockchain and it can connect them in any ways, not only for trading. Trading is just the future that you can exchange your coins, you can trade your coins. Another important feature of Qora, we have also introduced with automated transaction, is the encrypted messages, where users can use their wallet to send messages to another users of Qora. Encrypted or not, they can send the message the way they are like to. Also in the same release we have introduced the web of Qora. It was an idea made in a couple of hours actually from another common member, Agran, and we have enabled a web server, and we had the idea to host HTML code, HTML files actually, under the naming service. And with this single idea we have created a decentralized web.
That's amazing.
So users will actually be able to surf a decentralized web, which is something really, really important for our society, if I can say it in a few words like that. Big projects are working in a same thing like BitTorrent. They have run a project based on peer-to-peer decentralized web, and we have already did that. We have actually enhanced this right now because we are ready to release the new version of Qora, which will contain also another great innovation. We will introduce a decentralized social network. We have just finished it, we have just tested, it works like a charm, I can say that. And you can actually review it right now. Well, the public social network, let me just drop you the link of this because we have prepared a machine for this to expose it to you. This is the main idea behind it. When we release the coin and you will be able to test it, you will find more about how it works. This link drives you to a blogging platform we have made. But if you can see, it's a timeline. So this means it's a decentralized blogging platform. We have based on this concept that it has been introduced on Qora.coin, the microblogging, and we have on the version 22 we will introduce a fully functional social network based on blogging service, but tied actually to the naming service. Each user with his own name, he has his own profile, and he can switch between profiles, and he can follow other users, he can like posts, he can reshare posts, and we think that we have implemented the core functions that a social network needs to have. Yes, it's on blockchain. This is on blockchain. This stays on blockchain, and this is totally decentralized. By the way, in the same link that I have sent you, if you just go to the main URL, which is Qora.co.in and the port 9090. This is the web of Qora. The first screen you see is the search engine we have made, in which you can search for a specific item hosted on the web of Qora. Of course, we have separated the search regarding the search for websites and the search for blogging and blogs. Unfortunately, we have only 2 websites right now. We have, and just to let people who already know Qora, we have in the new version that we will introduce, we have slightly changed the way that we are storing the website, because we have found out, we have created actually, if I can say it in a few words, a data management system, which we will expose it into the social network and the web, but in the future this means that a user can safe and securely store his own files, data, on the blockchain, and he will be able to retrieve it from anywhere because it's on the blockchain.
Now, do you guys see this being a potential issue with respect to having to store so much and access it via the blockchain?
Yeah, you can say that we may face some issues with it, and I'm sure we will face some issues with it. We are, as we say, we are deploying our ideas, but we know what our ideas means. We know that if we do this, then we have to do that, or if we do this, this will be that. Right now,
that's good.
Right now, we have just introduced those features. We have made it, and we have we test them and we have worked them, and we were actually dream of them, and that's why we have worked with them. We do know that we need to escalate a little more the entire platform, the entire data management system regarding the blockchain, in order to ensure that we don't get a blockchain of 10 gigabytes in a matter of a day. I mean, we have several concepts behind of what we are doing, and we are reviewing every possible architecture and every possible tool that we can use in Qora, in our futures, that will make the whole idea more feasible and more reliable to the end users.
Sure.
And the existing architecture that we have introduced with this decentralized web can actually give us another perspective for development, can give us besides the core development, which is the Java, we can move the development to a web development, which is another plus for Qora, because we know that we have many web developers than Java developers. That will help for the growth also as well.
Do you mind if I interrupt real quick, Vrontis? Because I'm listening to all of this, and there's so much to it. And then Crypto Scalper said something that actually, right in here in the chat, he said decentralized Google. And have you guys ever thought, like, this is precisely what's happening? All these blockchains could very well become like decentralized Googles. There could be thousands of essentially like these, like an army of them for people. I mean, that's it. There's so much to it for a newer person to cryptocurrency. I mean, imagine, you're obviously like most of the people who come to these Mumble Hangouts, somebody who likes to study the blockchain for some weird reason. That's what you like to do, right? And we are those types of people for some reason that we really, really like it. And you could talk to most people on the streets though, and they'll say, what is Bitcoin? So you see all of these different applications, all these different use cases that you're providing for us, you're telling us about. And this is beyond Bitcoin. You know what I mean?
Let me give you a short introduction of my idea of what are you saying about it. So we are living in a world which is also happens to be a digital world. Besides the fact that everyone is working with his own mobile, everyone cares to post his own status on his own photo on Instagram and on Facebook, and we are a generation that has became a more tech-friendly, I can say it. And we do admire technology. We do know what technology will give us. Will give us comfortable life. Will give us profits. Will give us everything. We all know what technology is. The idea to have several futures on a cryptocurrency, which is not, we can say it is not tied to a cryptocurrency, because if I make the status update on the decentralized social network of Qora, it has nothing to do with economy. It's just a post of my status. That idea is actually the idea behind of it is that you can have your own life secured and independent. Right now you know that Google knows what you are searching, Facebook knows where you are, and this is the entire digital world we are living on. Blockchain technology did the same thing for economy. It just removed the fees. If I can say that, Bitcoin it has abandoned the banks. This is what everyone understands about Bitcoin. Yeah, I can say the same regarding the decentralized web of Qora. We have banned the spies, or we're hoping to ban them, because we don't feel, and you can understand that we don't need to be watched on any of our moves. Yes, of course, right now everything on Qora is public, so it doesn't change anything. The entire network of Qora can see that, but this is the idea behind of it. The idea behind of it is just to secure users' data in a digital life that we are living, and our wallet actually it's our debit card, which we will use it with our mobile. Then we already have that. This is what technology can do to our lives, and this is what blockchain have introduced to us, a way to share data in a way that it's more, of course, it's more friendly, world friendly, environment friendly, because you don't need to host huge servers. It's independent because you don't need to be relying on some third party to find something, to see something. And it's actually people direct to people. This is peer-to-peer technology. This is the main concept behind of what we are doing, and this is, as you see before, this is the first idea of the Qora Developer. He has done the same with the voting future, and this is the idea we are keeping, and this is what it following. It drives us, and we are following this rule on every integration, implementation, everything that we are working on. We need a way to clear things out. That's true. For every aspect you will see in this world, we need a way to clear several things. In example, the financial crisis and the Greece issue, they have talked for months on how to clear this issue. Yeah, technology of cryptocurrencies, it's a better approach to clean issues for humanity.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because I'm very, very interested in the currency aspect, of course, right? But the voting and polling is probably equal for me. There are places in it that I like more, but then at the same time, there is like a little bit of greed aspect to it. I do hope that my 400,000 BitShares total goes up to, $400,000 so I can buy a house or something, like I would like to see that. But I forget who it was on the BitShares forum, but they said freedom is now profitable. And that was one of the best things I've heard with respect to that. Now, one thing that I did want to ask about, it seems like Qora, from what I saw, only has a Windows client. Is that correct right now?
No, we have four kinds of clients. It's the universal one, which is a Java. Well, basically, everything is based on Java, which means it can run everywhere. It's Java.
Gotcha. Yeah, of course.
But we have also made clients to be more easily compatible with several operating systems. We have a Windows client, a Mac client, and a Linux client, which, I think the top of the
maybe
operating system.
Well, I just went on to the site, and maybe it was because I was on the mobile or something, but I didn't see all I saw was the Windows, because I was like, do you guys have a mobile wallet out yet? Or are you planning on it?
No, we don't have. We have reviewed once about how to create a mobile client. Yeah, there are several ideas behind a mobile client. I mean, we can easily deploy a mobile client, but it needs to be centralized and be based on another's personal blockchain. in order to be fast and in order to be small, and this is the light wallets idea concept.
Is this the idea to have atomic cross-chain transactions using that?
Atomic cross-chain transactions and automated transactions is a core feature of Qora. Right now, one idea that we are trying to work on is to deploy an application on the web of Qora that will allow users to easily trade using the atomic cross-chain transactions. I mean, like a decentralized trading platform. Okay, we can now only trade with Burst, but this is another idea that we can have. So, yeah, as long as we are able to take the most out of its future, we can deploy several ideas backed by blockchain. The existing, as I said before, the existing versions of the existing clients we have is 4. We have tried to compile a Raspberry Pi wallet, an ARM-based wallet, but unfortunately, it wasn't a successful compilation. But we will do it in the future. And yes, the mobile wallet remains in our plans, but we need to figure out a good way to make it.
Sure. Well, I will say this. I know that Meta Exchange from the BitShares ecosystem is going to be adding Qora as well to their services. And that's basically like, it's like a more decentralized shapeshift, would be the best way of describing it. So you guys are going to have that. I was going to ask you real quick, Vrontis, where does CIYAM and atomic cross-chain transactions from Burst work into everything here?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not known a lot about Meta Exchange and how it works. Actually, I'm not watching a lot of exchanges. The only reason that I'm watching them is because of if they have any issues why their wallet is not running. I'm looking the price, of course, but I'm not trying to learn what exchanges are and what they are doing. As I said before, I'm focused on a decentralized way of trading, which can be made with automated transactions. Our idea is to create an application, a web interface actually, because we already have on Qora a dedicated atomic cross-chain transactions tab on the wallet, which is pretty helpful to run your own trade with a Burst user, forth and back, or to be the initiator or to be the responder. And by the hopes we have is from vbcs is to vbcs integrate automated transaction to as many cryptocurrencies out there, because once a blockchain is having automated transaction on it, it can instantly work with our blockchain. And yes, this is our idea regarding our decentralized exchange.
I'm going to just really quick interrupt you. I just want to make sure, because you said any coin that integrates or with Burst in some way. I don't know how that happens exactly, but any coin that integrates with Burst will automatically be able to move in and out of all these different ecosystems.
Any coin that implements automated transactions. Atomic cross-chain future is just a use case, a smart contract use case. It's just a smart contract. It's just one of the thousand of the million of use cases that automated transactions can do. So once a blockchain has automated transactions on it and automated transaction is running, for trading, the atomic cross-chain transfer use case is used to achieve trades. But yeah, it's, as I said, it's just a simple use case of automated transactions.
Well, it's definitely going to be pretty sweet to watch how all this moves forward. Does anybody else have any questions, comments? I try to remind myself to continue asking people because Tom will speak out and ask questions when he feels like it. But there's like a very few people who feel comfortable to actually like come out and say it, or they might not have a mic, or there's any number of reasons maybe. But there's definitely those who would prefer to type it in. So I'm going to remind you, if you would prefer to type it in, please type in whatever you have to ask or any questions that you'd like to ask.
Sounds like a very interesting project. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm very interested in watching how these things work together. I'm also interested in seeing what. Have you guys ever seen that TED video where they talk about ideas mating and having baby ideas? That's kind of how I'm starting to see different crypto projects.
Somehow I knew it had to come down to sex with you, Fuzzy.
Well, it has to. That's how we procreate. And that means in ideas too, right? Let's have idea babies, guys. Anyway, Favdisu's asking, how about integrating Qora to BitShares and start a supernet? Could you imagine this?
Well, to be honest, I do not know a lot about the BitShares project. Unfortunately, I haven't spent a lot of time learning about it. And I have heard some words about a united blockchain, if I can say it right. Yeah, of course. Why not integrating Qora somewhere? I mean, yeah, there is no any nose behind of that. If people decide to integrate Qora somewhere, we will do it. Actually, if you see on Qora polls, there was once a vote to integrate Qora on Supernet, the project, I think, Supernet, and the decision was no. And you can see that on the block explorer of Qora. I mean, it's a community-driven project. If
sure,
you have any,
makes sense.
If we have any idea, we may, this vote was in the past, it was made on September of 2014. We may run again this vote and say, hey, do you want to integrate Qora to Supernet, or do you want to integrate Qora to BitShares? Community will decide. And then we will see if we can do it. Of course, there might be some obstacles that we don't, we cannot set a poll without know if it is possible or not. But this on the technical side of you. Of course, if it can be made, then we will make it. But yeah, the main idea of Qora is it is a community-driven project. So yeah, you can set up, Favdesu, you can set up a poll on Qora and say, hey, do you want to integrate Qora on BitShares? Let's see what people will decide on it. It's simple as that. It's nothing. It's not my decision, actually. It's community's decision. I cannot say, no, we don't do it. So yeah, you are free to go ahead and run this question to the community, not me.
That's a pretty good response, actually. Direct democracy.
Exactly, as I said, this is the main idea of Qora, of the developer, and because I had to step on and say, do you want to continue the project when the developer has left? I'm trying to do my best to follow his rules. He's not here, he cannot guide me or advise me anymore, but because I have spent time with this guy, I have talked a lot with this guy, and I think that I have understand his mind, his opinions. I'm trying to just follow the same rule that he had applied on Qora.
Good deal, man. So you guys had some really long conversations.
Yeah, we do have. Actually, the idea of the decentralized web and the decentralized social network have came up one night with a discussion that I have with him in the past when he was working to introduce the arbitrary transaction, a future of Qora, in which you can host data on the blockchain. And I have asked him, hey, what kind of data you can host in there? He said me, anything, anything you want. And that's how the idea of microblogging has been introduced, and that's how the idea of a social network has been came up with me. But at that time I didn't know how it was possible to be made. Luckily, right now the core team of Qora is actually, it's me, it's another great developer named Kerberos, and another great developer named Agran. And we also have, luckily, the support from vbcs, which I can tell you that is a developer which stays on a higher level. He made the automated transactions. I mean, you can understand how good he is. And luckily, our team, me, Agran, Kerberos, and vbcs, we have found out how to make the most of arbitrary transactions and create the decentralized web and the decentralized social network, a decentralized blogging platform, and in the future a decentralized Reddit, a decentralized Medium, like the Medium blogging platform, and hopefully many more similar applications on top of Qora.
Yeah, it sounds great. Five was asking basically, how to integrate. Well, it might be something where it is a little bit on both sides, right? I mean, these are services that our community has been wanting to use anyway. I know that we've been wanting a social network. I know that there's a decentralized social network, which is amazing. And I know that we've been using polling ourselves, but we're still waiting on some of the things for Follow My Vote, and some of these other voting features will be coming. But that hasn't been the main goal for BitShares. The main goal from the very beginning of BitShares was just like, get this entire currency market that's pegged for real to currencies, but transparent and immutable like the blockchain, or somewhat very close to immutable. And that's kind of been our path. But these are things that, of course, you can, like you said, you can only focus so much of your resources on different things at any given time. You can be planning for those things, and you should still keep doing that like you guys are doing and moving forward. But I would wonder, with BitShares 2.0 coming out, if we would be able to have a worker proposal to have something like that from your team integrating some of this stuff in. It would be really cool to see, actually. And it would be something where, the way I see it is, between atomic cross-chain trading, BitShares exchange for real commodity, like 200% backed currencies and commodities, right? Stocks. It's going to be this huge exchange. So for people to be able to go into this network, this social network, and the decentralized web from there, it's going to be very interesting seeing where the web goes from here. But this is what we're doing right now, right? We just get together and we dream about how these things are going to come together, because we know they are going to. It's just where the puzzle piece is going to start fitting together, and where are these different projects going to ally. And that's really what I'm always looking for. That's what I've learned is a lot of it actually has been from Bytemaster. Look for innovation, look at the protocols, look at the infrastructure, right? Those are things that you need to do. And you're going to have some communities that want to take certain things certain ways. You're going to have some communities that have developers who are really good at certain things, and maybe they don't have enough developers in a certain area to get everything done that they need to get in, so there's always bottlenecks. And this is one of those ways where I think that we're going to kind of create our own economy. What do you think? Do you think that we're going to have like a digital economy that's just basically on the web, and that we're going to have paper currencies and all that stuff on top of it, but it's just going to be another layer? Or do you think that we're moving away from that?
Well, this is right now actually how the economy works. I mean, we have a digital economy where money is generated from banks with just a single enter, and they give you loans and they make money out of it thinner digitally right now. Mm-hmm. So why not? Why do not use a cryptocurrency? Why not a cryptocurrency not established on a community, on a society, in order to provide the tools that the cryptocurrency can give? I mean, let's take an example of Greece. I'm in Greece. You may have heard recently that there was a big story with Greece and that's a Greek church next to me.
Yeah.
You may have heard recently that Greece, and this is a coup, and the negotiations with Europe, if Greece is going to stay in Europe, about the Greek referendum, which was a decision that people of Greece had decided to go. And you've seen the news, you've seen what has happened in those negotiations. I mean, there was the Grexit, where the Greece will go out of Euro, and there was a default for Greece, which might be dangerous for Greece, and all those stories you are hearing that an example, Prime Minister of Varoufakis, that has the idea to introduce an IOU coin, and all those concepts to me are very well known, likely because I have learned cryptocurrencies.
Sure. Now, I didn't know about Varoufakis wanting to have an IOU coin.
Yeah, that's just a bluff he had said during the negotiations. But yeah, this is politics. I mean, this is how a politician must work. He must see possible sides and possible effects of its movement. I mean, they say, okay, we are not accepting your proposals, we will run our own currency. I mean, this is politics, this is total politics. But yeah, you can say that it was a bluff, you can say that it was a real plan for Greece. I don't know, I cannot say anything about it, but because I'm a Greek, I have just said this. I mean, we are already living a digital economy. We are living on that. I mean, the loans, everything, the transactions we are doing, the eBay buys we are doing, with the PayPal payments we are making. I mean, this is it. This is exactly the same, but with a middleman, which is a bank, that has setting their own rules, and we are accepting those rules. Like we are accepting every rule outside the internet.
Like a bully on the playground.
Exactly. Cryptocurrencies there are no rules in cryptocurrencies, if you know what I mean. You are using it the way you are liking. Yes, of course, there are some rules. In example, proof of stake is a rule. It means you need to pay a fee for every transaction. That fee is going to the network. And the same way that Bitcoin proof of work is working is you need to place your machines to mine the next block, and you will get rewarded. Every concept, it has its own background. I mean, this is green technology. An example, proof of stake is green technology. Bitcoin mining is, let's say, to me, this is my own concept, is that it was more costly to use a miner to generate new codes and generate new blocks, because you are paying a lot of electricity, and you know about the reward of proof of work. In any way, I mean, a consensus mechanism on top of the blockchain is the rule of the coin. The Greek government may introduce a new currency with a new concept that will reward the Greek people, or I don't know. But yeah, I believe that there is something good in Qora that I would like to see it in an economy, and hopefully in Greek economy. As I said before, we have on Qora the asset exchange, which give you the ability to trade assets with assets. This is the barter exchange. This is a kind of economy that does not need money. I mean, we are in Greece. I am in Greece. We are a society that has many problems right now due to the financial crisis, the economic crisis in Greece. We have many problems. I mean, we are seeing in the road that we have a lot of homeless people. We have a lot of unemployment people. We have a lot of debts to pay. And the Greek society is driving by those big concerns. Why not introduce a future that will let you directly trade your needs? I mean, I am a developer, I can create a website and I will be rewarded by a restaurant that I have been worked for its website. This is the barter exchange. This is a future of Qora, and to me this is a helpful movement for society, an idea that can be really implemented into a society and may solve parts of the problem. Not, of course, the debt problem and everything like this, but I'm trying to expose a future that Qora has, and the problem that is here, and how this can be tied. As you said before, how cryptocurrencies can be used in real life. Yeah, that might be a solution that I have learned because of Qora.
Well, I will definitely say this. We are on a path where we are looking ahead and trying to see what's going to happen. We're trying to build what's going to happen, and we're here watching history in the making. And you're right. I think that we are a digital world. We have people who are all tied to their phones or some device. I haven't seen numbers on it, but I would imagine that it's probably over 50% of their day. Most people.
We're not watching history in the making. We're making history.
Well, I guess in some ways, I always feel like I'm watching it, like I'm a witness here.
No, you got to be a participant, man. You're a participant. You're not just passively watching. You're not just passively watching.
But look at all the different stuff, man.
I know, it's cool.
So much going on. So you can't just participate in everything or you'll blow up. But I do get what you're saying. But it is going to be really interesting to watch, and I want to see where everything moves forward as far as how these blockchains are going to work together, and all these different development teams are going to pool their resources. And I'll just say this is what we're trying to do with Beyond Bitcoin. I appreciate the fact that the BitShares community is behind us trying to reach out and build this pool of developers up who are interested in fixing these problems. Like you said, cleaning our house a little bit and putting in infrastructure that helps empower us, right? Now that it's not perfect, and there's going to be questions that I've even found, there are certain people, there is voter apathy, there's all those different things that we still have to figure out. But having this infrastructure, you're right, is a huge step in the right direction. I want to let you know, just remind you, MetaExchange has added you guys, or is going to, and the exchange the fiat exchange, CCEDK, they are also going to add Qora. So that's a place where you can actually trade and get directly from cash to Qora, as opposed to having to go through the Bitcoin channel. So just something to let everybody know about. Does anybody have any questions or comments before we wrap this one up for today? And I would love to bring you guys back on to talk a little bit more about these things at some time in the future.
I'd just like to say thanks to Vrontis and you, Fuzzy, and everyone else that showed up. Thanks for taking time out of your day to do this.
Well, and thank you guys for doing what you do. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Whenever you've got people who care about something, everything just seems to come together. People naturally take up their roles. And it happens over how we're all over the world, right? So
I would like also to thank you, Faz. I would like to thank Beyond Bitcoin community, your project. I don't know if yours, okay. I would like to thank Beyond Bitcoin. I would like to thank Tak for his for helping Qora to be exposed, to be shown in here. And I would also like to thank the exchange you sent, the Meta exchange that is working for Qora. I would like to thank also the CCDK that is working for Qora to integrate both the Qora. And of course, I would like to thank the BitShares community.
Well, I'm sure they appreciate it, and they will all be listening to this as well. We're looking for solutions just like all of you. I mean, all of us are, right? And it is really interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see how this, I call it the Velvet Revolution, the revolution of ideas, how it's going to change the world. And I hope we do it the right way. So let's toast to that one. Thanks, Vrontis, for showing up and answering the questions and letting us know about it. And thanks for all the work, because I know you work hard on it, man.